Welcome back. Our final Republican is Peter Lumaj, a former candidate for Secretary of the State and Governor. And we want to reiterate, this interview was pre-taped, originally aired on May 29th. Thanks so much for being with us here.
Thank you for having me.
So in your judgment, what makes you the best candidate out of the three?
First of all, let me just start it by saying that my heart is broken with the tragedy that happened in Texas 24 hours ago, and that my prayers are with those families and the victims. But what makes me the best candidate out of the three is the fact that I'm an unwavering conservative. For the past 10 years that I've been involved in politics, I never changed my positions. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm the one who is going to energize the base. I'm the one who's going to be able to get the votes in the city that no one else can do that. I'm the one who's raising the money to run this campaign, reasonably financed. I'm the one who's going to get the Eastern European bloc to vote Republican for the first time. So I'm bringing to the table more than anyone else in this race, and I think that's what makes me the best candidate. In addition to that, I think I'm the only one who's going to have the backbone, the character, and the fortitude to go after Blumenthal. And Blumenthal cannot be defeated with money. Blumenthal can be defeated on his failed liberal policies.
You call yourself a conservative. Leora Levy calls herself a conservative also. What's the difference between the two of you?
Look, that is for the voters to determine that, but in 2016...
No, but in your opinion, what do you think?
Yeah, well, until 2016, she was not a conservative. I mean, she became a conservative. I think, you know, eventually what we have is three candidates. One of them who is openly center-left. Then you have Peter Lumaj, who is a true conservative, unwavering conservative. And you have the other one who will tell you what you want to hear because it's the primary.
You mentioned the terrible school shooting in Texas. If you were a senator right now, what would you propose be done to prevent future school shootings?
Well, I wouldn't do what Chris Murphy did. He became a drama queen in the state Senate. That's an embarrassment. He was taking advantage of this tragedy, trying to raise money as he did when we had the tragedy in Las Vegas. That's one thing they shouldn't do, take advantage of this for political reasons. Now, both the United States senators that we have in our state, they started political life. Chris Murphy started 1991, whereas Blumenthal 1977. The question is, what have they done to protect our children since then? If I think what we have to do, without turning this into a political issue, what we have to do, we have to protect our kids. We protect the president with guns. We protect the vice president. We protect the governor. We protect the institutions. Why don't we have school safety officers protecting our kids, and they should be armed? We have retired police officers who would do that, military people who would do that, and would perform that job outstandingly. We just have to give them a chance.
So you believe every school should have an armed guard outside of it? Elementary school, high school, middle school?
I don't think that the elected officials who have armed guards 24/7 protecting them are more important than our children. So I maintained this position since 2018 when I was in your show, actually, and we debated the gubernatorial, that was a gubernatorial debate, and I maintained that position. So for Christ's sake, let's get this thing done properly and defend and protect our kids from this madness that is going on.
You said you're pro-life, but what kind of abortion should be allowed? Or should they be banned altogether?
Look, we have yet to... I'm pro-life. I believe that life begins in conception and ends in natural death, and I'll maintain that position. Now, are there exceptions? We have to allow the states to handle this issue in accordance with the 10th Amendment, and that's what's going to happen most likely with Roe v. Wade. It's not going to be reversed, but it's going to be sent to the states and allow the states to define what the definition of life is. When does it begin? When does it end? And each state should decide in accordance with their the voters' will. And personally, I'm pro-life. Begins at conception, ends natural death.
But you believe there should be exceptions, and what should those exceptions be?
Well, those exceptions, I mean, when I hear the Democrats or the liberals say that, what if someone is a victim of rape? Okay, we'll give you that one. What if someone is disabled? We'll give you that one. What if someone, but the question should be, when will the Democrats come to their senses that I am pro-choice, meaning that giving the kid a choice to live? Can any one of these Democrats tell me that they are pro-choice to give this unborn baby a choice to live at one point? Deal with the exceptions, but generally speaking, this issue has to be brought within the confines of commonsensical solution. We don't have a commonsensical solution to this.
U.S. senators have to approve Supreme Court nominees. that are given to them by the president.
Yes.
Would you have approved Ketanji Brown Jackson? If you had voted for her confirmation?
I looked at her background, and I think that was an insult that the President of the United States put out there when he said that in order for you to qualify for this position, you have to be an African-American female. That means that you excluded all the white females who may have been qualified for that. You excluded all the white males. You excluded all the black males. In other words, you excluded 96% of the population from applying for this job. That should not be a requirement for your Supreme Court justices. The requirement should be that you are a constitutionalist, that you are there to interpret the Constitution in accordance with what the law requires, and that you maintain those positions. A pigmentation or gender should not be a qualification for that job. So therefore, I would not have voted for her based on that, and based on the fact that she has a very lenient and liberal position when she was in lower federal court.
That was Peter Lumaj from our interview with him in late May. When we come back, how you can see the candidates together. And we invite you to connect with us right now on This Week in Connecticut. You can email me here, or you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll be right back.